So before we sort of get really deeply into sort of the topics of the webinar, what I'd like to do is make sure we do a little bit of level setting about the regional cross-sector work. So as you all know, there's certainly been a call to action in recent years and lots of energy around the country and in California around this concept of regional. What we're often seeing in the field, though, is that people don't really understand how data fits into regional goals and aspirations versus their individual institutional goals and aspirations. As you know, CCPT was designed to improve educational attainment and economic development outcomes throughout California through the development of these regional cross-sector career or CTE pathways. And for us, I think the timing was right, given that CCP is sort of ending as a formal initiative, but that there has been this increase exponentially in sort of the number of partnerships that are occurring across the state, across sectors, not only K-12 and community colleges, but K-12, community colleges, some CSUs and UCs, and with employers and workforce development partners. And so again, we know in all of this work that you're not just building individual pathways, but trying to connect these pathways to larger systems. In terms of data at the program level, this might mean keeping track of curricular development, enrollment, and subsequent educational success by students. But when we think about like an advanced manufacturing pathway, for example, that's just part of a regional narrative about uptake for pathways, success in pathways, and the impact these pathways are having on your local economies. And so the CRP Alliance is really invested in turning an eye toward this regional data, which is, like I said, related but still a little bit different from that program level data. And so I have this slide really to sort of highlight, regional data are important. They can help you measure these regional education and employment outcomes, facilitate continuous improvement around those regional education and employment outcomes, and it can also provide you an opportunity to strengthen these existing or new partnerships that you've had folks in your sector and across sectors. Many of your regional institutions, like I said, already had shared goals or developed them because of CCPT. Regional data, we're thinking, can really help you identify the data and metrics that will help you know whether you're meeting those shared goals together. Regional data can also help provide you with this basis for accountability, and not in a punitive way, but to really give you and your regional partners an opportunity to say, hey, these numbers aren't exactly what we want them to be. How can we start thinking strategically about how to leverage resources and do better together? Regional data can also help by providing you all with a shared language. Now, I know from my work on the ground and research that many of you have been deep in the data work for your CCPT consortium and have discussed definitions. That is, how are we measuring what constitutes a pathway across schools, across districts, in community colleges, and so forth. So I'm hoping that this helps convince you that regional data is important to your regional work. I also want to touch a little bit on this issue of data for cross-sector partnerships. So again, you and your partners are having to balance your institution-level data, metrics, and goals with this idea of regional data, metrics, and goals, which may not always align one-to-one, but are related. Data for the cross-sector partnership can be important because it can help you focus on the performance of pathways. That is, how are they contributing to your regional goals, for example, by decreasing unemployment or underemployment? These data can also help you attend to the data capacity of your consortium. What systems are being used? How many people in the region have capacity to think at the regional level beyond their institutional level work? Regional data can also help us think about moving from a culture of just compliance to a culture with performance and compliance. Regional partners can develop relationships around regional data that allow them to support one another and constructively work to address issues of educational attainment and workforce development. Again, this idea of doing better together. So I know I got a little meta here, but it's critical for you and your partners to have buy-in on the value of regional data and how it can be used to support cross-sector partnerships. We all know that without buy-in, even the small tasks can feel monumental. We recognize that in the absence of a longitudinal student-level data system in California, that you regional leaders and your partners are being asked to do things that are not necessarily typical historically. And that said, we applaud you in your work, and we want to be supportive where we can. In light of that, I think our goals for the CRP Alliance are really to help you think about how to do the best you can with the data you have now.